Thanks very much for joining us for this episode of The Exclusive. I'm Georja Calvin Smith, and we are at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, where today we'll be talking about food, football, and education. That is because UNESCO, the World Food Programme, and FIFA have banded together to create a programme aimed at breaking poorer communities around the world out of cycles of deprivation. So to that end, they are going to be providing free school meals, and that is aimed at getting more kids into school, keeping them there for as long as possible, and also they'll be supporting teachers to make sure that the quality of education that these children receive sets them up for as best a future as possible. So to talk about how all of this is going to work, I'm very happy to say I'm joined by the President of FIFA, Gianni Infantino. Gianni, thanks so much for coming in to speak to us. Now, first of all, UNESCO.
It's a pleasure.
Pleasure is all ours and our viewers, I'm sure. So we've got UNESCO, yes. We have got the World Food Programme. We're used to them being involved in humanitarian affairs and development programmes. And then we've got FIFA. How come you've joined the team?
Strange, right? It's strange because normally people associate FIFA with football, with the World Cup, with competitions. And it's not obvious at first sight that FIFA, being the football governing body of the world, has also, that's at least the way that I see it and the way that the new FIFA sees it, a social importance. Football is more than just a game, we know that. And we know that as FIFA, we need to take our responsibilities, not only when it comes to the game itself, but also to our social role. And we want to play this responsibility at full, and that's why we are very happy and proud that we've been able to team up with UNESCO and the World Food Programme in this fantastic Football for Schools project that we are launching to put school education at the forefront of what we are doing.
So how are you going to do it? What does this programme specifically entail?
Well, it's a very challenging and very interesting program that where we have partnered up with these two great organizations. We want to touch 700 million kids, boys and girls, all around the world, from the age of 6 to the age of 15, bringing to them not only footballs. We will flood the world with balls. We will send 11 million balls all around the world. But we will also present to the schools around the world a football program. A football program which is part of the, or will be part of the school curriculums of primary schools and secondary schools all around the world, where actually the important element is not football skills, but life skills, taught through football. Because when you speak about football, you can speak about many aspects. You can speak about the values of football, the team, work, the respect for the opponent, the respect for the referee, for the laws of the game, so for the laws more generally. But you can speak also about violence, about drugs, about equality, about sexual harassment, about obesity, about many, many topics that can be brought to children through football.
So you mentioned there, the values of football.
Yes.
You came you were elected in 2016, and right after that huge scandal, yes, that still overshadows FIFA to many people around the world. And you made it very clear that what you wanted to do was present a new new face for FIFA.
Yes.
Is this a useful PR opportunity, or is this linked in a more wider way to an illustration of a change in the values of the organisation?
Definitely it is. It is changing the way we see our role. The role of FIFA, the way we see it, the way I see it as the FIFA president, certainly after the big scandal that happened a few years ago. Otherwise, I would never have been elected FIFA president as well. But the new way we want to present ourselves is to take our role seriously. Our role is to organize competitions, to organize football, definitely, to develop football around the world. And for this, we are already investing 1.8 billion over a 4-year period for football development all around the world. Half of the world would have no football without the solidarity contributions that we give. But this is not enough, because football means so much to so many people around the world. And when we have been seeing what can we do, what can we take as our social theme, as our social responsibility part, we have found that education is really something that fits quite well with football, that is maybe not the priority of other bodies around the world, except for governments or governmental bodies. But we thought that, and studies show this as well, that when you speak about something that interests kids, they listen in a different way. And football is something that interests many kids around the world. So through football, we can, in cooperation with UNESCO, with World Food Programme, we can bring and teach some of these values to the children. This is part of the way we see our role. It's natural, it's normal. It's normal that we go beyond the simple football on the pitch, and that we try to do something for society, because we are part of society.
There's no doubt that the kids are going to be very excited about this, but part of the problem is oversight, because as much money as that's going to be funneled into this program, how is there going to be some kind of guarantee that the local operators implementing this plan, this scheme, with all the best of intentions, actually deliver what is intended?
That's a very good question, and that's why we decided to team up with both UNESCO and World Food Programme, because they have the necessary networks and expertise in these areas. On our side, what we will contribute is the balls themselves, of course, but also the curriculum, the educational curriculum for the schools. And we will be helped in this by our own network, which is a network of 211 countries around the world, which are FIFA members, where we have our member associations with their staff, which will be part of putting this project into place. Now, of course, we will depend on governments, will depend on ministries of education, how much they buy in, and we will try to convince them. And from the first discussions we had with some heads of state and government, they are all very, very interested, and I'm sure that they will all be very engaged in this project.
And how are you selling it to governments? Is it a humanitarian program, or is it more like more an investment in their economic future?
It is a social program for us, which is probably a little bit of a mix between the humanitarian and the investment in the economic future. There is no doubt that football today has a social and an economic role, which goes, again, beyond the pitch. A good result on the pitch can change the whole mindset of a country. If they qualify, if they win a competition or whatever. I've been traveling to Africa very recently, to 9 countries in Africa, and you could see, because there are some deciding games now to be played for the qualification to the African Cup of Nations, how the whole country is vibrating for football. And you can see that football can help in this respect, not only to make a country proud, but also to contribute to the education of the youth of this country.
But beyond these programs, what's required to make sure that there is development and opportunities for more vulnerable communities in developing countries is a stronger infrastructure? Is there any plans or programs in place by FIFA to support that more long-term approach to providing better opportunities to people and children?
Yes, well, we are providing opportunities to children, boys and girls, by the way, because we are investing a lot in women's and girls' football, which is growing incredibly fast and strong. And this is part of our football development program that we have, with infrastructures, with jobs as well, through professionalization of clubs, of teams, of organizations, even just the football federation itself. It has to organize itself, has to organize competitions. You need coaches, you need referees, you need, and all of this helps to give opportunities. Now, in addition to this, we think that football can send some strong messages as well, which can help children. The football players, not the administrators, not we, not us, but the players, the legends, men and women alike, they are idols to many kids. And when you bring one of these legends to a school to speak to children and to tell them, and I witnessed that, and it's really amazing, to tell them, you know, if I made it, you can make it. You might not become a professional player in Manchester United, but you can become a doctor or a policeman or a professor or whatever. Believe in yourself. And if a football legend is saying this to children, well, they believe it much more than if it is a teacher or anyone else, right? And we have to play this role, I think, seriously as FIFA, and we want to do that.
Thanks very much. That's a very inspiring way to end it. I really hope that the project rolls out as well as you hope it does. That kicks off over the summer of 2019, I believe.
Correct.
Yeah,
we will launch it this summer at the occasion of the Women's World Cup in France.
Brilliant. Well, we will be following it at France 24. Thanks very much, Gianni Infantino, President of FIFA. Thanks very much for joining us. That is all we have time for now for The Exclusive. Take care.